In 1978, a forgotten research bunker was discovered beneath an abandoned medical facility near the edge of a frozen forest. No official map listed it. No plaque marked the door. It was found by accident when a construction crew broke through a concrete wall and uncovered a staircase leading down. At the bottom was a sealed chamber with 6 metal beds, an observation window, and a control room covered in dust. On the wall, someone had written one sentence in black paint: "Do not let them sleep." The tapes were still there, reel-to-reel recordings labeled by day. Most were damaged, but one played clearly enough to hear the voice of a man who called himself Dr. Orlov. He said the experiment began with 5 volunteers. Prisoners, officially deceased, promised freedom if they stayed awake for 30 days inside the chamber. A stimulant gas would keep them conscious. Microphones would record every word. Doctors would watch from behind glass. For the first 2 days, the men joked. They played cards. They complained about the cold. By the 4th day, they stopped speaking to the observers and began whispering to each other in corners. By the 6th day, they refused to face the glass. Then one of them looked directly into the camera and said, "Doctor, the room has started dreaming for us." After that, the tapes changed. The men began answering questions no one had asked. They described people standing behind the doctors in the control room. They spoke in voices that did not match their own. One begged for sleep, then immediately denied saying it. Another pressed his ear to the wall and laughed for 7 straight minutes. On the 9th night, all 5 men began screaming at once. Then, just as suddenly, they stopped. The control room went silent except for the hum of the machines. Dr. Orlov ordered the chamber door opened, but the technicians refused. Through the observation window, the beds appeared empty. Then a hand touched the glass from the inside. One volunteer stepped into view and smiled. His eyes were open too wide. His lips barely moved when he spoke. "We are not alone in here anymore." The doctors tried to shut off the gas. The chamber speakers crackled, and 5 voices spoke together. "If you let us sleep, it will wake up." By the 12th day, the men no longer behaved like men. They stood for hours facing the corners. They repeated the names of doctors' dead relatives. They knew secrets from childhoods they had never lived. One voice, low and patient, began speaking through all of them. Dr. Orlov called it mass hysteria. On the final tape, he sounded less certain. At 3:17 in the morning, the bunker lost power. In the dark, the volunteers began singing a lullaby. It was not Russian. It was older than that. The words shook the microphone until the recording warped. Then came a knocking sound, 3 taps, not from inside the chamber, from inside the control room. Dr. Orlov whispered, "There is someone behind me." A voice answered from inches away, "No, doctor, there is something awake." The tape ended there. When investigators entered the bunker decades later, they found no bodies, no remains, no records of the 5 volunteers, only the 6 metal beds in the chamber. 6, not 5. On the last bed was a cassette recorder, much newer than the rest of the equipment. Its label read, "Play if you feel tired." One worker laughed and pressed play. At first there was only static, then breathing, slow, calm, almost asleep. Then Dr. Orlov's voice whispered through the speaker, "Do not close your eyes." The worker dropped the recorder, but the tape kept playing. 5 unfamiliar voices began counting backward from 30. By the time they reached one, every light in the bunker went out. The construction crew ran. Only 3 made it back to the surface. The others were found the next morning sitting upright in the chamber, facing the wall, perfectly still. They were alive, but none of them would speak. For weeks, they refused to sleep. When doctors finally sedated one of them, he woke up screaming a single sentence: "You let it dream." The facility was sealed again. The entrance was buried under concrete. The official report called it a gas leak, then disappeared from the archive. But some nights, in the forest above that bunker, people hear humming beneath the snow, a lullaby. And if you listen too long, you may hear a tired voice whisper from underground. Stay awake with us.